I'm Chris, the off-grid amputee. Come hop along with me. Hey everybody, welcome back. Chris, the off-grid amputee here. Back in the valley here in my garage for a little bit before we go back up to the cabin and do some more work. Just kind of bouncing around a little bit. And I figured while I was here, I've been having trouble cutting the grass for the last 3 years. Because it's hard to do on crutches. I've done it just this past week, but man, it's tough. But in this video, I'm gonna convert a knee scooter into an electric scooter, which I haven't seen too many videos out there of this. But I bought this knee scooter here. Let me get the camera. I'll show you. Pardon my reach here. I got this knee scooter. Here it is. About 3 years ago. I took the front wheels off to use on another walking wheels, whatever you want to call it, walking wheel scooter thing. So it had better wheels on it, kind of like what I'm sitting on now. Here, let me show you. But I've got a better one. One of these things. So, but I got a bigger one with bigger wheels. I can get around the house better. I can just push myself with one foot. And I was like, well, I could use this to get around the house, but it was kind of cumbersome. But I figured, man, if I could put like one of those electric wheels on it, then I could get around the backyard. I could mow the lawn. I could clean up my backyard. Anyway, so I took the front wheel off, the wheels off, and I'm gonna put some bigger pneumatic wheels on it. I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight and get some like 10-inch pneumatics for the front. The rears are okay. These are rubber. But I'm gonna put that electric scooter wheel right here. I'm gonna weld on a bracket, some forks I guess, and put it right here. And then that's a fancy bicycle seat. We'll see if that works. But this is gonna be the start of it. First thing I have to do, I've already cut myself trying to take this thing off, but with a little cap that was on there. Where is it? Let me find it. Sorry about my camera angle. I had to take this little cap off. I cut my finger doing it. That hurts. Anyway, take the caps off on both sides. Because as I'm welding this, I don't want to... This is going to get pretty hot. I don't know if I'm going to use a stick welder or a wire welder. Probably wire welder is the best because it's thin steel. But I don't want to melt this rubber or this plastic or anything. So I'm going to pop those off and then grind that down to bare metal and then figure out what kind of welder I'm going to use. I'll try the stick welder first. It might be too much though. I don't have a lot of experience with the wire welder yet. Anyway, I got this on Amazon. I think it was like 180 bucks, 150 bucks, something like that. Alright, well, that's the beginning. Let's get to work here. Okay guys, so here's the motor hub, if you will, that I'm going to put into that knee scooter. My workshop's a mess, but so yeah, this is let's see if I can focus it. This is 36 volts at 250 watts. It's not focusing properly. And I got this off of Amazon. 36 volts at 250 watts. And I got this controller also off of Amazon. And then I got this display. I think these two came together. I don't know, it was like 20 or 30 bucks, maybe less. And then I got this throttle right here. Been through like 3 controllers now. I got 2 of them to work. Some of them are for bikes, and then some are for scooters. I don't know what the difference is. I'm still learning about this. But yeah, it's a mess up here. I try to figure stuff out. 36 volt to 48 volt battery, and I think they'll handle about 36 to 48 volts max. I had to splice some stuff to make some things work, because not all the connectors, not even the colors, are all the same. But after doing a bunch of research for a couple days, and anyway, check it out. Let me see if I can get this. So here's the on switch, and then you hold this. So there's that. And then here's the throttle. I'm not going to do a full rotation because I don't want to mess this up, and I'm holding onto the camera and the throttle. But anyway, pretty cool. It'll do up to 24 miles an hour. And I'm going to put that on the knee scooter. I don't need to go that fast. But on this thing, you have parameters like, so this is like 1 speed, 2nd speed, up to 5 different speeds. And pretty cool. Way more than what I need on a knee scooter to cut my lawn. This is really just to cut my lawn and get around the backyard. So I'm really excited to hook this all up to the knee scooter. I got some welding to do, and I know a lot of people aren't into welding or capable, but I just taught myself just about 3 months ago, and I'll show you what I'm using here in a little bit. But anyway, this is what I'm going to install on that knee scooter. Should be pretty cool. I'm excited. So hey everybody, this is the knee scooter I'll be converting into an electric scooter. This is my normal one I use like at the mall or the grocery store or even a festival, Renaissance. But it's good on hard pavement, and I can't really cut the grass with it. So I'm going to put the wheel, not from this, but a new wheel on here, a motor on the back of that, and some big fat wheels on the front I got from Harbor Freight. Here, I'll show you in a second. Okay, so this is the axle off of the knee scooter. I got the paint off of it using a wire wheel on my drill, and so yeah, there we go. So I have this Harbor Freight wire-fed Flux 125 welder that I haven't really used before, but I've gotten pretty good with this little BuzzBox stick welder using 6010 or 6011 rather. There it is. So I don't know. I want to try this one. I might need a different tip. So, but I might give this a shot because I already know how to use it, and I'm getting better at it. This is pretty thin steel, so I don't know if I get it. Maybe spot weld it real quick. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see. There's the Harbor Freight wheels that I'm gonna be using. Now that's 5/8. These are nice and hardy. These should be great in the grass. But this is too small. I don't even know what size that is. It's small. But here, this is 5/8. So what I'm gonna do, 5/8 hub. So I'm gonna take this big bolt I'm going to weld it onto here. So maybe I'll try stick welding it first. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of the wire welder because I haven't used it before. So I don't know. Let me try spot welding this and see how it does. Okay, so I decided to start with the stick welder, and just a little spot weld on there. And it's not perfectly center, but as long as I can get the other one on this side in the same spot, it should be okay, since the bearings are inside the hub and they're positioned on in the same place on both ends. I don't know. We're gonna find out, aren't we? I've never done this before. So let me try. Let's go for the other side. I got a little magnet, a little Harbor Freight magnet. I held that on there with a little shim underneath of it. Get it elevated a little bit. All right, let's try the other side. Well, there it is. It ain't pretty. I'm gonna have to do some grinding. They look about right. I don't know. I'll find out when I get the wheels on. It'll probably have the accuracy of like a lawnmower wheel. But the weld's good. It's just sloppy. I'll have to grind it down and paint it. But I don't know. Let's see how the wheels go on and see what happens with that. Let's see how they turn. So there they are on there. They're not bolted on yet. I'm going to have to cut those back. But there it is. It's going to work. I may have to bang those bolts. I have to align those. But man, that's pretty cool. And then this part just clips onto the knee scooter. I might actually weld it on there so it's permanent. But let me go see how it fits on the scooter. Look at that. It's like the monster truck of knee scooters. Pretty cool. That's fun. Wow. There's a better view of it. Pretty cool. Let's see if I can scoot around here on my other scooter. Yeah, look at that, man. That's gonna be pimping. I'm excited about this. Look at that thing. That's pretty badass if you ask me. I can't wait to get the wheel on the back, the motorized wheel. Alright, well, keep plugging along. Okay, so this has this like aluminum clamp thing here. And got the wheels on. I got them cut off and bolted on there. But there's still a lot of play in the front end here, which I don't like. This is all steel. This is steel. This is steel, but this is aluminum. But I'm going to use that to keep it in place, and I'm going to weld, spot weld here, and here, and on the other side, and see how that helps out. That's just way too wobbly for me. Alright, so let me spot weld it. So I guess you could say spot welded. It's more than a spot weld. I had it pretty good, but it's way more sturdy. I mean, you still have a little play in the wheels, but way more sturdy. I don't know why this camera isn't focusing. I should probably get a better camera. But man, I tell you, this little buzz box, this little, what's it, the Simder Arc 200. Man, I think I paid like 65 bucks for this. Runs on 110. I have it plugged into a 30 amp circuit. I mean, no modifications. I'm not a great welder either, but it's pretty cool. Still scared of that thing. I think I just need to get it set up right. But I should probably be using a wire welder on this, but I'm accustomed to this so far. I'm just learning. I don't know. I'm welding for like a month. Maybe 10, 12 welds now. Anyway, I'm pretty impressed. I'll grind it down, make it look pretty, paint it. Alright guys, back in the garage with the knee scooter. I'm going to make electric, but I had some different ideas. And I think I'm going to try the FluxCore welder with a different nozzle. I've been stick welding, but I think I'm going to try the FluxCore. But here, let me turn you around here. Let's see. So I was going to leave the original wheels on this thing. Sorry about the shakiness. I was going to leave the original wheels on this thing, but I wanted some better stability, so I took them off. And then I'm going to take this piece of Unistrut. I'm going to make this like an axle. So I think I'm going to cut it, part of it, the top here and here, well, where it'll slide over top of this right here. And then I'll weld that onto there. And then at Lowe's I found these hinges that will be great for forks. And they were on sale. They were $5 a piece. So obviously I'll separate them. I'll cut them in half. But yeah, I'll have a wheel there, a motorized wheel, and then, or the wheel with the brake, and then the motorized wheel over here, I believe. And so here's the brake. I'll just have to take this, cut it off, and reattach it. Here's a little brake, disc brake, dealio. So yeah, let me figure out the welding process. Let me make some cuts and come back. I'm pretty excited about this. I think this is going to give me some freedom to work in my backyard and possibly even get around the neighborhood. I clocked that electric motor wheel at like 25 miles an hour. Jeez. Alright. So I got the paint off there. I grinded that down with my drill. One of those grinder wheel things. I'll show you in a minute. And then I cut the hinges in half. So yeah, I think I'm going to weld at least these end pieces on first. And then go from there. Just kind of making this up as I go. I didn't draw any plans or anything. I got some ideas in my head. I mean, it should be pretty straightforward, right? It's like a bicycle, right? Some forks. And just got a way to put it on. I mean, I guess if you didn't know how to weld, I guess you could bolt some of this together. I don't know. I'm glad I figured out how to weld. I mean, I don't know. I'm terrible at it, so you can see some of my welds over here. They're strong, they hold, but they're really messy. But for what I'm doing, I'm not building, I'm not just making I'm not welding together a skyscraper or anything that's, if anything that's gonna hurt anybody. I think this is gonna be solid because I'll weld the crap out of it. Alright, let's see what I can do next. Alright guys, so this is where I'm at now. I got this thing welded, well, tack welded. I don't know, these welds are not pretty. Downright ugly. But they're strong. I'm gonna have to reinforce it. I don't know. I can grind it down and make it look nice. Like I said, I'm still new at welding. I decided not to use the FluxCore because I've been having issues with getting a different bit on. I don't know. I'm trying to get these. They're not threaded for some reason. I don't know. I'm new at this. If you have any ideas, let me know. I really want to try this FluxCore though. I think this would have been perfect for this job. So, doing more stick welding, and I'm making a mess doing it. So yeah, it's terrible. And I've never welded Unistrut before. I didn't realize, I guess I did, but not welding it. It's so soft. So I burned a couple holes. Yeah, look at that. It's terrible. I need to go back and grind it and hit it again. And maybe try to figure out the flux core. I don't know what that noise is in the background, but anyway, this is where I'm at right now. I have to put the other part of the fork on both sides. So far it's pretty solid. I may reinforce these. I don't think that metal's thick enough. This one kind of bent a little bit. Anyway, let's see what we can do. So here's the burned up, crispy axle. Gosh, it looks bad, but it's gonna work. Like I said, I am new at welding, brand new, you can tell. But I also have not cleaned this up. I have not ground any of this down, and I should not have used a stick weld on this. I should have used the flux core. I keep saying that, I know, and you're gonna say, you keep saying that, why don't you do it? I will. I just haven't figured the machine out yet, so, and I want to get this done so I can have some more freedom around my house, my backyard, and up at the cabin. This has a pretty good turn radius. So anyway, it's nighttime. I'm done for the night, and I will resume tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm gonna double these up. I think I'm gonna double these up, and I don't know what I'm gonna do for this part of the fork yet. This part, I don't know yet. I thought this metal would be thick enough, but it's not. It would probably work, but I don't know. Guess I'm all about overkill. We'll see. I'm tired. I'll revisit tomorrow and see what we can do. Alright everybody, good morning. I doubled these hinges up, these forks. Cut this piece in half. I'm really trying to use all the scrap that I can use because I don't have a lot of money for this project. I'm trying to keep it under like 350 bucks. So I'm using scrap. It's not pretty, but it's gonna work. Could use a lot of grinding there. But I'm gonna weld this one here, or this tire, this wheel, and then I'm gonna weld this one here. I gotta cut them off a bit, and I gotta think about how I'm gonna do that. So hold tight, I'll be right back. Alright, so this is where we're at. Go ahead and laugh. I am. It looks terrible. It's strong though. It's really strong. I'll go back and maybe do some grinding work, or just, I don't know, I might just leave it the way it is and paint it. Can't wait to go back in my backyard, be able to take my trash out and mow my lawn. That's why I'm making this, so I can get around. My wife thinks that I'm just having a fun project. Well, it is fun, but it's necessary for me, so I can get around my yard. The other scooter ain't cutting it. So anyway, a lot of really messy welds, but I might do some grinding, or I might just paint it. I don't know. Alright, what's the next thing? Figure out how to mount the wheels. Okay, so dry fitting these wheels. I think I skipped a couple steps, but I got a little frustrated with this. These are kind of flimsy. Well, they're not that flimsy, but C-channel now. But I need to fortify those. Make sure my wheels are even. They're different wheels, but they're the same height. This one's just fatter than that one, so I'm not just sitting here right now. So I have to figure out my measurements for mounting that. So there it goes. So that's where I'm at right now with this. So close to getting this all wired up. Just gonna make sure my wheels are right, sitting properly. I'm gonna bolt everything down. Still got to tweak some things. But it's getting there. Getting there. Exciting. Okay, we're like day 3 now. Still doing welding and cutting and trying to get the tires aligned properly. This one seems to be okay, but it's making some sort of clicking sound that it shouldn't be making. I took the electronics off to do some more welding. I'll put them back, and I took it for a spin last night. It had some power, but the hall wires seem to be not working properly. I don't know. It could be running better. And then my brake. This disc brake doesn't stick up high enough. So now I gotta figure out this whole brake situation. A lot of tweaking. I gotta move the seat back. It's too close to the handlebars. Anyway, let's see what I can do about that. Alright guys, so this is where we're at. I guess I skipped. I should have filmed more of this, sorry. But like I said, this is all scrap parts, so yeah, we'll see. But there's my new seat. This was way too close. I don't know what I'm going to do with that hole right there. This is pretty solid. Terrible welds. I don't know if I'll grind them down or not. Maybe. Keep thinking about that. But I think I'm going to try this out. I think it's the right height for what I need for me. I can always modify it later. So, let's see. I don't know. I got this sheet over here. An industrial metal supply, way cheaper than Home Depot. So I don't know if I'm going to make a custom seat or if I'm just going to mount another seat to this. Be right back in a second. Well, there it is with the seat on. That's a drum throne seat I had laying around. So now I got to readjust, put the electronics back on, figure out how to get that brake on that disc. I think I might have another disc possibly fit that, or I may have to order another one. Or redo the bracket at an angle. That might be the trick. I'll have to cut the old one off. Yep. Alright. So this brake, this disc brake, this caliper won't fit on here because this is in the way. So I got some more hinges. I got some smaller hinges. And I think if I cut this off right here, cut this off, and I'll weld 2 of these together for more stability. And then I'll weld that on. Sorry about that. Weld that on there. And I think that'll give me clearance for that caliper to go on there, because I really want to use this disc brake, and there's no reason I shouldn't. Noisy today. So I'm gonna cut that off and use 2 of these. I'll be right back. So there's the other bracket on there, and like I said, obviously I'm new at welding. But I did learn that I use this 6011 3/32 instead of the thicker stuff, and it's a little bit more forgiving. I don't think I needed those big sticks to get those big chunks. A little bit more refined over here on the smaller one. So probably what I should have started with and used on this thin metal. But anyway, so I'm gonna mount this in here. Wheel. I gotta figure out where to drill the hole. And now that brake caliper is gonna fit on there. And I got this bracket that was used on the man, there's a lot of mosquitoes out here. A lot of
a lot of mosquitoes. So this bracket came off of the other side of this when it was the knee scooter. Alright, so let me get this hole drilled. Alright, I think I got the wheel aligned, I don't know, pretty good from, I guess I'll find out when I ride it. The motor wheel worked, but I was having issues with it, with the Hall sensors they call them. The wheel just wasn't operating right. It was clacking, making noise, and I don't know if I just got a faulty wheel. So I ordered another one. I may try to fix the Hall sensors. I'll show you that wheel here in a little bit. And if you're new to this stuff like I am, I can explain what it is. But now over here, this new bracket with this caliper will, sorry about that, caliper will fit on there now. And then I just gotta weld that guy on there. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Gotta have brakes. So let me see what I can do about setting that up. See how that caliper fits on there now? Wish I would have thought of that in the beginning. Well, I kind of did. I don't know. I got off track. Trying to save money. But I'm gonna weld this piece like right here, and I'm gonna weld this piece on top of that, like that. And after that, I think it's all the welding I need to do. Maybe just a bunch of cleanup on this mess I made, or maybe just leave it, just clean it up and not grind it rather. Just clean it up. I don't know. Paint it. All right, let's see how this goes. So right there, I'm gonna put it right there, and then put the wheel back on, and then mark it and weld that on there. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. All right. I was wondering how I was gonna keep that little thing in place, man. I tried clamping it and stuff with the pliers and vice grips. I forgot I had these little magnets, so that should hold it in place so I can get it spot welded just where I need it. Alright, let's try this. Alright, so hey guys, slight change of plans here. So it wasn't the Hall wires, the Hall sensors. If you can see right here, this is the PCB, and then the Hall sensors are up here. It's a little bit out of focus, but so the stator, all these copper windings here, that's the stator, and then you have all these magnets around the edge that are glued to the inside of this wheel, and they were rubbing under load. And I looked it up after doing a lot of research. I used the Grok, the AI platform, and I guess these 8.5-inch wheels have like a 40% failure rate. 40%. That's a lot. So, because this is the second wheel that I had, and they were both doing the exact same thing. So, I guess some of those magnets are not glued on there properly, and they're smaller magnets. So, I found out the 10-inch wheel has less problems. I guess 5% failure as opposed to 40% failure. That's crazy. Because I thought I had like bad Hall wires or something was wrong, but it turns out the magnets are rubbing. So I ended up getting this tester here. Comes with a bunch of different leads on it, and you can test your Hall sensors, and you can test, your voltage to your bigger wires. I guess they call those the phase wires. Anyway, so I'm stuck with this one because I've had it for a while, but maybe down the road I'll try to fix it. I mean, it works. It just rubs, and it's not gonna last very long if it's rubbing like that. So I ended up ordering some 10-inch wheels. So I got to go back to work and fix my forks and put some 10-inch wheels on there. So let me do that. I think that might be part 2 of this video. It's getting a little bit longer than I thought. Um, so yeah, look forward to part 2 coming up here shortly. Thank you. So here we are, back out in the garage. This is my new motor. This is the 10-inch one. I think I ended up getting this for like 115 bucks. I think you can get them for like 99 as well, but something happened in my Amazon account where I ended up paying 15 bucks more than I had to. But anyway, and then here's the other passive wheel, if you will, and that also has a some holes for a disc brake. Now this is an old one from another another wheel off the knee scooter. I think I might be able to get this. See, I put those little yellow dots on there. I think I may actually be able to drill these holes out where this fits. But we'll see. That's going to be a project within itself. But for now, this motor hub is much wider than the 8-inch. So I have to cut that off and re-weld it. This one, however, looks like it's going to fit in here. That looks like it's going to fit. Just got to drill another hole. I have to move it back and then probably weld over my old holes that I had on there for the 8.5-inch. So I'm gonna get working on this. Cut this one off, move it over, and see about getting this. So starting the whole process over. It's tiresome. That's a bummer the 8.5-inch wouldn't work. That would have been fine if it would have worked. So this is a 48 volt with it's 48 volts, 500 watts. And then I got this 500 watt controller. This was not too bad a price. I think it was with the display as well. It was like, I don't know, like 28 bucks. So got that. So yeah, I'm gonna cut that off, move it over, and start this whole process. I'd really like to have this thing working today or tomorrow. Alright, stay tuned. So this is the hard part. Getting the height right and getting them sitting the right distance away. Yeah, so let's figure out some more measuring here. I can't wait to get this thing on here. Hope it works. Hope it doesn't do what it did with the 8.5-inch wheel. I'll be pulling my hair out. This one's definitely wider than that one. I don't think it's gonna matter though. This is the drive wheel. That's just the passive wheel. So, all right, let me figure out how to get the height set up right. All right, so getting the electronics on there. There's the controller. 48 volts, 500 watts. I'm just gonna zip tie everything in place for now, and I'll come back and make it pretty. So I'm see this thing work. And so yeah, that's what I got so far. I'm using a battery, a 48 volt battery off of my super handy scooter, my other scooter. So I have to I have to solder a connector for that. But this thing looks pretty cool. It actually comes with instructions. Look at that. It tells you what everything is. Unlike a lot of the other controllers that you get. So I'll add some info about that if you guys need it. But let me get the battery hooked up. Alright, here we are a few days later. I ended up upgrading to the 10-inch wheels motor, and it still is making a rubbing sound, but this is 500 watts, 48 volts, and it's definitely a lot faster. I gotta move the brake again, the brake caliper, but still tinkering with it. It's gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna try a little bit of welding today, move the brake caliper bracket, and this motor is a little crooked, so I need to shave away some metal and get these two wheels even. So let's see what we can figure out here. Alright, so here we are with the scooter again. As you can see, I changed a bunch of stuff. I'm a big Van Halen fan, so I decided to eddy it up a little bit. 5150 time. So I took off the hinges and I welded some proper forks for these wheels. And let me come over here. And let me sit down here, throw my crutches. Hop on over here. So I decided to put two motors on it. Still waiting for the other one from Amazon. Got a little bit of paint on this, but I'll clean it off. Maybe I'll paint it, I don't know. So anyway, so I got motor 1, motor 2. I'll have two controllers on here, and I'll have two displays, one for each motor. And I might end up getting two batteries, I don't know yet. But that's what we got going on with the scooter. I've been riding it with one wheel. I don't think I got any video of that, but you'll see this in action here soon. But the other one worked out pretty well. I actually took it to a Christmas place, Schnepp Farms, and it did really well. Man, it cooks. It goes about 20 miles an hour. Anyway, seeing how it all fits together. Waiting for the other wheel. I think it's stuck on a truck somewhere in Ohio in the snow. Alright, well, continue on as soon as I get the tire back, or the tire here rather. Alright, so here's the new improved. We got two controllers on there. That's what's in the box. New seat. It's like a boating seat I got for 45 bucks. Little cup holder where the old seat used to be. I'm gonna put some handlebars, some new handlebars, like some BMX handlebars up here. We got two controllers, one throttle. Because we got two motors. Let me see if I can get over here. So I got two motors. So it's 1,000 watts now at 48 volts. And this thing is fast. It didn't need to be this fast, but it is. And of course we got the Van Halen paint job. And it was Eddie's 71st birthday yesterday. So anyway, I'll put the new handlebars later, put those on later this week. A little bag up the front, and on the back here, down here, whoa, I also have a little, you can see that, that's for one of those little trailers. They pull about 200 pounds. There's the battery. That's a 10 AH battery. I think it was about 100 bucks, but still got a lot of cleanup to do. And I put a stabilizer on the front here because the front was a little wobbly. And that was about 35 bucks on Amazon. Cup holder. Yeah, coming along. I can get around my backyard now. Alright, more to come. So my stabilizer broke off. I didn't grind this down enough. It was too flat. So I'm going to rough it up, grind it down, and apply some more amperage. But I got my cup holder on. And yeah. Hopefully in the next couple days I'll get the handlebars. New handlebars. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. Alright, so I fixed that bracket. Or I put a bracket on it. I welded it. And two different places, so I think I fixed it. time to go for a little ride. Alright, let's go for a little ride. Alright, let's see if this new, this new microphone works. I don't know if it's working or not. Here we go. There we go. It works. Alright, so handlebars are supposed to be coming today. So I'm going to cut this off right here. And then I got this thing. Let's see here. It's dropping everything. I got this mount that's going to go here somehow. Yeah. It's like a adjustable mount, and then I'll put my new BMX handlebars up here. So just waiting for them to get here, but for now I'm going to cut this off, see how this fits on. Alright, so yeah, there, it's on there. I just need to get a plug for right here or something. But man, now I can't wait for the handlebars to get here. I don't know if I'm going to get them on today or not. It's supposed to come today. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. But guys, I'm really jazzed about this. This is my throttle that'll go back up on the handlebars, the new handlebars. My cup holder. Let me get some lights on this thing. Jeez. It almost needs a VIN number. Alright. Alright, so it's actually a perfect fit. I just need to get a rubber mallet and just kind of hammer it down on there. And then, I might have to turn it around. I think the handlebars are going to be too close. I don't know. Nope, that's going to be too far out. I don't know. Well, we'll see when I get the handlebars. Otherwise, oh, look at that, sliding right on there. Oh, that's going to be cool, man. That's going to be great. The other ones were too far out, and I didn't have a lot of room. I had to lean forward. This way I can lean back and just kind of cruise. But I put my foot down here. That's my footrest, and the other one's just the stabilizer. Because I don't need a footrest over there because my foot is gone, unfortunately. But I guess I could put one here, but that's not very comfortable. Or I could do like forward controls out here, I guess. But I think this works just fine. I put some of that sticky sandpaper grit stuff, you know, for steps. Maybe I could put a little shield right here, I guess, so I don't hit my foot on there. But I shouldn't be going that fast on this thing anyway. This thing does like 50 miles an hour. It's ridiculous. I should only be going like 5. Alright, well, let me put this together and see what's next. Alright. Hey everybody. In the backyard here, put some new handlebars on. This thing's about done. I'm excited about it. Let me flip it around and show you what I've got going on here. Here, still recording? There we go. So, new handlebars, new grips. I wish they had like Van Halen striped grips, but this is close enough. Matches the seat. Got some 5150 time going on here, and got a cup holder, stabilizer. I think I'll put one more cup holder up there. But yeah, man, I'll take it for a spin again, and I'll put this video up and tell me what you guys think. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I can tell you more details about this build if you have any questions about any of this stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and please look forward to my next video. Alright, see you soon. Alright, I got both motors set at level 3. This goes to 5, and take a little ride in the park. Beautiful day today. Alright. It handles really well in the grass too. Maybe need some more suspension though. Alright. Wow. It's a lot faster than what it needs to be, but it gets through the grass. There's a lot of torque. 1000 watts, 48 volts. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Alrighty. Take a trip down the bowl here.